So I see that the theme this year is including you. What's the purpose of this? What's it all about?
Mm-hmm. The idea is that we've brought together almost 500 unions from 112 countries to look at the current state of the labour market and what it means to working people. What we're seeing is a global economy which is working for the top 10%, the top 1%. For the majority of working people, they are seeing no additional benefit from the economic growth that we are seeing. This analysis is now shared by some of the top economic think tanks and global institutions that our economies have reached unstable and unsustainable levels of income inequality. Yeah. What we have seen during the course of the last 2 decades is what has been termed a gushing up of the wealth to the top 1%, and leaving the rest of us and the working population languishing well behind. A vulnerable workplace, an unfair workplace, and now it's capturing the attention of policymakers everywhere to do something about this, because we're not being included, and hence the theme, including you. Okay.
Why South Africa? The reason for hosting this 4th annual UNI World Congress here? How was South Africa chosen?
We are a relatively young organisation. We came into business in the year 2000, and this is our first opportunity to have a global congress here in the continent of Africa. And then in choosing a venue, it was obvious to us we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of freedom and democracy in this country. Yeah. We were pleased yesterday that we had Ahmed Kathrada, one of the living legends, coming to share stories about his life here. And it's important for us to reconnect with the struggle against apartheid. Many of the unions in this world and around the world were part of that chorus of protest, of support and boycott, which helped bring change here. So we're really pleased to be in a nation reborn. We're delighted to be in an Africa which we refer to as rising, and to bring the attention of world union leaders that maybe some of their perceptions of Africa will have to change. Yeah. 1 billion more people in the next 15 years. We expect a lot more growing investment, a growing labour market. Therefore, it's vital that the global unions are here to see what's going on and to help unions grow and to negotiate.
Yeah, and it's quite, I suppose it's quite symbolic that having just commemorated the year anniversary of the passing of Madiba, who of course is basically at the centre of everything you're talking about for what he stands for, and then having Ahmed Kathrada there would bring it all together. I don't want to talk too much about that, but what I do want to just move on to very quickly is you recently hosted a women's conference that was united against gender equality. In your opinion, has the treatment of women improved, and what else can be done to harness the liberties of women?
Clearly, over the generations, there have been major improvements. Women have sacrificed and they have struggled. They have taken to the streets, they've taken to legislators, they've taken to their communities in terms of ensuring that we have women's empowerment. But where we are stuck is in the whole question of the economic distribution of wealth. And we need to add a new impetus to the whole push for equal pay. We are saying at this Congress that workers of the world need a pay rise because of the inequality that they see. But in particular, we need a pay rise for women. Wherever one looks, there is a 20 to 30% wage gap between men and women for doing precisely the same work. The G20 recently met, and they said they wanted to add 100 million new women into the labour market. And my question to the G20 was, well, if you bring these new women into the labour market, you're not going to give the boost to economic growth if they're being treated on the same conditions. For many people think that this battle has been won. It has not been won, and we've had 1,000 women here from around the world who are now organising and putting a campaign together to put this much, much further up the political agenda than it maybe has been in recent times.
Thank you for joining us. I wish we could talk more. I know there's so much more to cover, but clearly a very, very important Congress that's taking place. It's the UNI World Congress. It's in Cape Town, happening until the 10th of December. And this, of course, was the Secretary General of UNI Global Union, Philip Jennings. Thank you very, very much for talking to us. All right, so that brings us to the end of that interview, and quite